So here's what Renee said. She says, my listing with 3 variations went live on the 5th of the 10th. Started an auto campaign, so that's an auto PPC campaign on the 8th, and then a manual campaign on the 11th. I think I have a good enough photo stack and generally good listings. Okay, so far the stats are 13,000 impressions. So that's 13,000 people have looked for one of Renee's keywords that she's bidding on, or Amazon has put her listing advert in front of somebody based on what they're searching for. Of those 13,000 impressions, she's had 61 clicks, a CTR, click-through rate of 0.47, ACOS is 82%. Only have 4 orders, each order for 1 quantity from the sponsored ads. All right, so, and Renee says that she thinks that's all low. Can I comment on that? Yes. All right, so here's what I think. All right, let's just go through it. So 13,000 impressions. Let's just ignore that for a second because we can talk about that in just a sec. So 61 clicks, 4 sales. So here's some maths for you, ladies and gentle germs. Let's do some quick maths because, you know, maths is important in this business. So what have we got? 61 sales. Just going to biggerize that. Rebiggerized. 61 sales. 61 clicks. Asher. Getting ahead of myself. 61 clicks. All right, so what is the conversion rate expressed as a percentage based on that information? What is the conversion rate expressed as a percentage based on that? So if you don't know how to work that out, what you do is you do 4 divided by the number of clicks, 61, and then you multiply it by 100 to give you the conversion rate. So what is the conversion rate expressed as a percentage? 6.6. Well done. All right, so 6.6%. Dun, dun, dun. Now, is that high or is that low? Well, it really does depend. So on Amazon, typically the unit session percentage, let's just get onto Amazon. So the unit session percentage for any given thing, let's just go and have a look at something in kitchen and dining, coffee, because you know we're all addicted to coffee, is approximately, depending on the category, between 5 and 15%. So the unit session percentage, what that is in Amazon speak, is the number of people who come to a Amazon product page like this and then add that to cart and check out. So 5 to 15% is the average on Amazon. Okay. However, some categories are going to be higher than others, and other categories are going to be lower than others, and it's really going to depend on what the hell it is. So let me just show you how that works and how you should think about this, and then we're going to talk about the ways to improve that. First thing to notice is when you're running a auto campaign and a manual campaign as well, Amazon will show your product in front of as many people as possible who are at least in the right area of looking for a product like yours. So that espresso machine, for instance, they're going to show it to people who are looking for espresso machines, of course, but they will also sometimes show your ad to people who are looking for espresso and coffee related paraphernalia, espresso cups and things like that. So they'll test that out too. So your impressions, don't really focus on them because Amazon, they're free because you don't pay for an impression, you pay for a click. And B, Amazon, generally speaking, will dick around showing your advert in front of a lot of different people to see where it can get traction for you, okay? So don't focus on that. But the 61 clicks, let's look at that. When you're setting up a campaign, a manual campaign and an auto campaign, that's going to give you the auto campaign, is going to give you a lot of potential places where your listing is going to show up. So let's just search for espresso machine. It's going to give you a lot of potential places where it's going to show up. And because of that, the quality of the person looking at your advert is going to be different depending on what they search for. So that will have a big impact on your overall conversion rate shown as an average, okay? Let's just go back here. So shown as the average, it's going to have a big impact on what that means. So somebody looking for an espresso maker, well, they're going to see lots of different things. So they're going to see adverts for electric espresso makers, like this, but they're also going to see stovetop espresso makers as well. So it's entirely plausible that somebody looking for a stovetop espresso maker, just out of interest, will click onto your advert for an electric espresso maker, just to have a bit of a sticky beak and just to see what it's all about. And maybe they'll look at that later on as a potential gift for themselves, but really they're in the market for the stovetop maker, if that makes sense. So not all searches are created equal, and not all people, therefore, who are doing the searching are created equal as far as their propensity to actually go ahead and buy your product afterwards. Let me give you an example of that. So this weekend, classic example, my wife and I purchased a food processor. So what I did specifically was I went to Google and I just typed in, see, it's still here, best food processor. I went to Google and looked for the best food processor. Now, why didn't I start my search on Amazon? Because I'm in the research phase, and typically you don't research on Amazon, you buy on Amazon. Okay, so when you go to Amazon, typically you're ready to buy something, but when you're researching, you go to Google, you go to YouTube, you may ask your family and friends for recommendations. You're not doing your research on Amazon. Okay, so here I am. This is the one that we ultimately purchased, the Breville Sous Chef 12 cup food processor. So we arrived at that, and the first thing I did, because I knew exactly what I wanted to buy, well, let me ask you. I knew exactly what I wanted to buy now. That's what we purchased, right? So what did I go to Amazon and search for? What would be the obvious thing for me to go to Amazon and search for now? Given that that's what you can see, that's what my availability is for things to go and search. What am I going to go to Amazon and search for? What do you reckon? Type your answers in the questionnaire. Let's just copy that. The model number. The model number. That's exactly right. Okay. So, I don't know if you'll be able to buy it here, but what I searched for specifically was the model number. I just came up here, which is kind of like the UPC code in a way, and searched for the model number itself. So, here's the thing. Somebody searching for the model number of your product, they are ready to buy. So, searchers and search quality intent is different. So, whilst we can look at Renee's quality of her, let's go back to that, Renee's quality of her listing, and we can also look at the quality of her keywords, both through her auto campaign, which Amazon decides where they're going to show it, and also through her, I'm having a mind block, through her manual campaign. More coffee required. The most important thing to recognize when you're looking at your data that you get back is not to take it as an average, but to take it at a much more macro level, to dig into it and to see what's actually going on. Because this kind of means nothing. It kind of means nothing, you know. 61 clicks, 4 sales. Well, what if every single one of those 4 sales came from the same keyword? What if they all came from the same keywords? Then all of a sudden, you've got a very different picture to look at. So, here's the thing. Here's the bit where we can actually get to. The most important thing you can do with your Amazon PPC campaigns is not to set them up, it's to optimize them. The money is made in the optimization. The money is not made in the setup. That's not what everybody does. The setup. The setup is easy. The money is made in the optimization of your Amazon PPC campaigns. That's where it's made. It's by going back in once you've set them up and got some data and looking at what's actually happening and thinking about it, not only from a data point of view, but also from a customer point of view. That's where the money is made. So Renee, your job now is to go into your data and have a look. Where are your sales coming from? Which keywords generated those clicks? Did those clicks come from good keywords that can be optimized more? Or did they come from people who were in the research phase and therefore they're not really search optimized in that way? Hope that makes sense. It's all very well and good setting something up, but that will only get you so far. That only gets you so far. The real money comes from the optimization of it, and that's what most people just throw their campaigns up and just expect it to work immediately. It never ever does. It never ever does. Always you have to go in there and optimize your campaigns. That's where the money is made. And because so few people do that, there is such an opportunity there because of that. I don't care what you're selling, but that's where the money is. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales I've used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on, a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.